Okay, this video is a little bit different. I'm just going to record one long ride I did from one corner of the park at Valley of Fire to the other. So I'm starting at White Domes Loop and I'm heading back towards the visitor center. And I'm just going to capture the entire ride because, quite honestly, the scenery here is just unworldly. I mean, it's known for its red rocks, and obviously you can see that. But it's just such a beautiful landscape. And I really felt like it deserved an entire video to capture the stretch and the magnitude of it all. So this was in April of 2023. And even in April, pretty warm, but not unbearable heat. You know, you can move around. It was quite a windy day. I did 3 walks when I was out here. Each walk was roughly a mile, but you're walking on sand, or you're walking on rock. Either way, slowed you down quite a bit. And there's a lot of warning signs. You can see in the summer when it's really hot, people get dehydrated out here, lose their bearings a bit, and maybe get heat stroke. So it was very nice to be here in April, I have to say. I think the rock formations here, I mean, they're all carved out of limestones and things like that. But look at the boulders there. I can never see too much of this kind of landscape. Fortunately, I had some open road here. You know, you get to some of these places and you're just tailing somebody and they're going very slow in front of you the whole way. It's not as fun as it could be. Of course, there's going to be lots of vehicles here. Here's one of the stops. I did this earlier on the way in. So many places to see things. It's a good park that way. Lots of places you can pull out. Lots of hikes of different sizes. Like I said, the ones I did were all about a mile, but some of them are much longer. Sorry, trying to adjust something there on my helmet. Don't know what that was about. The park itself isn't really all that big as far as, like, you know, a national park goes or something like that. But they did a great job of capturing all the incredible landscapes that they did. So the Valley of Fire State Park costs $10 a day to enter the park by vehicle. And you can also camp here. They've got a couple of different campsites. They're set up for, I guess, primitive camping. You can be in a tent, or you can be in an RV on the sites, but there's no real facilities. You're on your own, truck it in, truck it out, that kind of thing. All in all, it's only about 50 miles northeast of Las Vegas. So it's close to civilization. As dry as this country is, it does have those flash floods that you hear about. And here's a section here where they've repaved the road. That whole length is where the water would have rushed through. And here's another section here. And you can see a little bit how the wash goes to the side. It's all rock and sand. And when the rain comes, it really can't permeate into the soil fast enough. And so it washes along the surface. And it could be quite dangerous. I saw a video, it wasn't here, but this kind of terrain, where a family had been out camping in a canyon. And it had rained off in the distance, not where they were. And the floods came down. They jumped into their vehicle and tried to escape the canyon, but they couldn't get all the way. They ended up being hit by the water, and they were up on a sandbank. A helicopter came and rescued the kids and the wife. The father decided to stay with the vehicle. He figured he could get it up high enough, and he didn't want to lose his vehicle, so he stayed with it. He was successful, but I'm not sure I would have wanted to take that risk. Anyway, No sign of rain right now, so no worries for me. I can just enjoy the scenery. And this is the third of the parking spots in the White Domes area. So traveling on now. One of the things about this park being so close to Las Vegas, it does get a lot of visitors, of course. Who wouldn't for this kind of spectacular scenery? And the campsites get full. But in Arizona, you're allowed to do what they call dispersed camping. And that means you're allowed to camp pretty much anywhere there's public land, as long as that public land hasn't been improved. It's free to camp there. It's camp in, camp out. You're not supposed to leave a trace. And it's quite a nice idea, but it's really taken hold. And with the economy the way it is, there's a fair number of people that have taken to dispersed camping, not for camping, but to live more or less permanently. So now they've set up rules. You can only be in one place for so many days, and then you're supposed to move on. And really, that rule was put in place to prohibit people living that way. And, unfortunately, when people live that way, some of them don't keep the area clean and tidy. If you are camping in the Valley of Fire, one of the great things to do at night is stargazing. The area is far enough removed from the electrical interference of all the city lights that people normally see. There's very little smog and cloud here, so the night sky is super clear and the atmosphere is relatively thin. So the stargazing is spectacular. Highly recommend you do it if you have the opportunity. So this valley and all the interesting rock formations originated back in the Jurassic period. It used to be an inland sea in North America, and when the lands changed and the land rose up a bit, displacing the sea, it exposed this land, and then wind and rivers have carved away the loose material, exposing the rocks, and have done so ever since to get to what we see today. You've no doubt heard about desert temperatures and how it can get extremely hot. It's not uncommon to have 120-degree days, and they don't recommend hiking in the summer because of it. But it often gets cold at night. Again, very clear skies allows the temperature to dissipate quickly. So you can be super hot and get dehydrated in the day, and then you can be freezing at night. And so you really have to pack appropriately with lots of layers to handle the different conditions. So we just passed the turnoff to Fire Canyon Road. That takes you out to the Fire Canyon Overlook and Silica Dome. One of the many spots here. Unfortunately, I couldn't do everything, so I didn't do that one on this trip. Maybe next time. I love this area here, though. Rocks are particularly beautiful to me. And what I love as well is it's so close. The road is just snakes right through between them. You can imagine yourself in a Western movie or a Martian movie or just about anything. It's so spectacular here. Trips like this inspire me for the differences in the world, and both how small the world is and how big it is. The vastness of spaces between pockets of, civilization and cities that we have. Sometimes we feel like, there's so many people and we're covering the planet. But there's lots of spaces where, no one would want to live given the opportunity, but it's so beautiful to visit. Yeah, I can gaze at these kinds of rocks for a long, long time. So we're coming up on Moose's Tank. And we just passed the Rainbow Vista pullout as well. So the 3 walks I did were at the end at White Domes Loop, the Rainbow Vista one, and Mouse's Tank. And all of them are ones I recommend people do. All of them are relatively simple ones, and you'll see so much scenery. It's just breathtaking. And of course, you can go at your own pace. There's no need to go quickly. You can just enjoy the moment. There's also a spot up ahead where I walked along the rocks, and there's a place called Balancing Rock. And it's a very, very short way to go out there. Anyway, there's so many things. And then, of course, there's a few things I didn't do. There's the Arch Rock. There's the Seven Sisters. There's the Petrified Logs. There's the Elephant Rock. There's, on and on it goes. But I find it's always better to leave a place wanting to come back and do more than to feel you've done everything. And, it just doesn't feel the same. The mystery's gone, I guess. So I'm glad that there's more to do here. And next time I'm in the area, I'm pretty sure I'll be back. It's hard to beat being on a motorcycle in places like this. Out in the open air, sensing everything with not just sight, but sound and smell. It's quite an experience. And in many ways, I was sad to leave the Valley of Fire, but there's always new areas to go and explore. So I can see myself getting close to the end here. Just around the bend is the entry point. So I'll be wrapping this video up. I hope you enjoyed this journey as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you.